Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hi and welcome to Stella's Meza. On today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make my all-time favorite cookie, the white chocolate chip cookies. These are simple and are always a hit whenever you give them out. Now to begin, you will need to use some semi-sweet chocolate that I have here, around 4 ounces. And I use Baker's chocolate squares, which are 1 ounce each. And to that, in that corner there, you see I've added some instant espresso powder into the bowl. I'm going to melt that and I'm going to add it to the batter. Now over here I have some white chocolate chips. You can also use a white chocolate bar that's been chopped up. And you will need some tightly packed brown sugar, some all-purpose flour, a pinch of salt, and some baking powder. Alright, you also need some eggs. And you want to make sure that's at room temperature, and also some unsalted butter at room temperature. Now, this is an instant espresso powder that I use that's in there with the chocolate. And you're going to need a cookie scoop, around a tablespoonful cookie scoop that you're going to use to scoop your cookies onto the cookie sheet, and also some pure vanilla extract. And this recipe, as far as the equipment you will need besides a cookie scoop, will be 2 baking sheets that I show right there. Now the first thing we're going to do is combine the dry ingredients, the salt, the flour, and the baking powder. And then that chocolate, I went ahead and melted in the microwave for 30 seconds, and make sure you give it a stir as it melts or it's going to burn. So I combined that with the instant espresso powder just to amp up the flavor of the chocolate. And now I have the brown sugar and the softened butter that I am going ahead and mixing together. And you want to make sure it's light and fluffy. And then you're going to add your eggs to that mixture, and you're going to beat it again. You're going to combine it very well. You're also going to add the vanilla at this point. You want to make sure you use the pure vanilla extract. That makes your cookies that much better. All right, we're going to give that a good mix until it's nice and combined and looks like this. See that? All right, now I am going to add the melted chocolate that I've left on the side to cool down. You don't want it to be hot. You want it to cool down, and I'm going to incorporate that into that mixture. And it smells so good. And they're not even cooked. I wish you'd smell the house after they cook. All right, you're going to give that a good mix as well. Okay. And then what I did is I went ahead and folded the white chocolate chips using that spatula on the side. I went ahead and folded them into the dough. You don't want to use a mixer to do that, or it's going to break up your chocolate chunks. Okay. All right. Now I'm using my cookie scoop, and I'm placing the cookie dough on the baking sheet. You want to put them around 2 inches apart. That will allow them some space to spread. All right. If you don't have a cookie scoop, you can use 2 tablespoonfuls to drop the dough onto the baking sheet. And then over there, I have some water that I'm dipping my finger in, and I'm just flattening out the cookies. That way they spread evenly. Instead of having like a rounded top, they'll spread out evenly. And then the whole time you've been mixing everything, remember your oven is at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm now going to put this into the oven and let them bake. And remember, for all the ingredients, the measurements, the step-by-step instructions, please visit my blog. It's www.stellasmeza.blogspot.com. So after the cookies were baked for the time allotted, I went ahead and put them on a cooling rack that you see there to your left. And here are the finished cookies. As you can see, it is crispy on the outside, but nice and chewy on the inside. And this goes perfectly well with a glass of milk. So cheers to good health and yummy treats. Thank you so much for joining me this time. I hope you join me next time as I take your taste buds on another culinary safari. Karibu to Stella's Meza.
Yeah, 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 yeah.